Okay, before I get started with the actual content of this video, I want to apologize for the technical difficulties that you might find in this video, because there are a couple of quote-unquote jump cuts. I don't know if you can really call them jump cuts. I mean, it's in the game and all. It's not really a regular kind of jump. Okay, anyway, the thing was that happened was I was streaming this, and there was a certain set which was Walt Disney World Castle, and hopefully it's going to be fixed because Blackout resent me the file, and thanks Blackout by the way. But basically what happened was that thing crashed every time, so yeah, this process of building this actually did include quite a bit of crashing the game and reopening it ad nauseum, and that was a bit of a problem. Then there's also the fact that I'm recording this for the second time because I'd recorded this prior to this, but then Audacity decided to be a total jerk to me and decided to, after I compressed my track, suddenly crash, and that was not so nice. But yeah, what's going on in this case would be that I'm building a Romanian building, and don't worry, this is going to be part of the new park. But before I wanted to get started with that, I just wanted to test a couple of themes. Now, the Baltic theme has for quite a while now been part of that, and I've already built a couple of buildings with that, and feels somewhat safe to say that it's actually a really cool theme for how underused, I mean not used at all it is, because I was pretty not so sure about it at first, because maybe there had been people before who actually used the Baltic theme, but I am pretty certain now that there's no such thing. And the same goes for this Romanian theme, though I'm probably better off calling it a Transylvanian theme, but I'll probably address that later on if I don't forget it, so probably not, because I forget everything. And the reason why I wanted to do this is going to be part of the new Let's Play Park, and unlike in the last Let's Play Park, where it was, yo, let's go into the Let's Play Park, YOLO, let's build random things, and eventually ended up with a theme that was medieval, spooky, steampunk, alpine. Yeah, I kind of want to plan this out and have certain areas, not go overboard with any terraforming or over-the-top things, but want to keep the park down to earth and realistic. Quote-unquote realistic, because this is Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 after all that we're talking about. So before I did that, one of the things that I wanted to do before I got actually involved in that park was to test the themes for a number of reasons, because obviously, as far as I know, and I'm very, very sorry if this theme has actually been done before, but to my knowledge, it hasn't been done before, and at least I haven't seen a Romanian park ever before, and I haven't really heard anyone talk about it, so I feel pretty safe talking about this thing as if it's the first Romanian building. At least that's it in my experience. So this building right here, as you may be able to tell, is my first Romanian building. Oh, that sounds way too official. It's my first Romanian building. By that I mean, it's just a small test to see if the theme actually works, as in, if it actually looks good, if it can actually work in a park context, and if I can actually work with it, and if there are actually custom scenery sets. And that was one of the bigger problems with this entire theme, because as you may also be able to tell, Romanian custom scenery, there is no such thing. And I guess it's a shame. I haven't really seen any Romanian people in the community. It might be that I'm just missing them, but you know, I feel like they're a very vocal minority, and just a minority in general in the community, which is a shame, but yeah, that goes for many countries. I think just a couple of weeks ago I found this Korean website which had loads of awesome things on it, but the Korean community doesn't really interact with the English community, because Korean is such a different language and it's hard to learn English if you're Korean, and vice versa, and you get the drill. There are just some parts of the community that are very secluded from the rest of the community. But if there are any Romanian people out there actually watching this video too, I love you, you're cool. And I guess I might talk about this. It's a bit of a background behind why I am doing this theme, other than it's something cool that nobody has done before and I want it in my new Let's Play Park. I've been on a exchange program with a Romanian school quite a while ago, and that was arguably the best week of my life. Well, one of the best. Now that I'm looking back at it, I was pretty young at it at the time and pretty immature, and I feel like now would be the better time to steal that experience from the 2 years ago Silverret and give it to the now currently living Silverret, though I might feel the same about it 2 years after saying this. But regardless of that, I've seen things over there, and that was pretty awesome. And The thing with this theme is, oh, that was a jump cut. But the thing with this is, it's got an interesting blend, at least the Transylvanian buildings do. It's got an interesting blend between the classical and Gothic castle type architecture, but also the Alpine-ish architecture. One of the things that really struck me was how similar the Romanian architecture was to the rest of Europe, but it still had that one thing on it that said, this is Romania. And I'm still not entirely sure what that was, because building this building now, I do feel like it's more generic than just Romanian, but it's got influences from all over Europe and also things that are not in Europe. And it's all blended together, and it's a wonderful mix, and that's why I decided to try this. And it turned out that that mixture of Alpine Village and the castle sets, such as the Walt Disney World castle that you can see a lot in this building, is actually a pretty damn good combination, and I was pretty surprised with that. And this is one of the reasons why I am pretty happy about this building. And when I say that I'm happy about this building, I don't necessarily mean this is such an amazing building and I like this building, but the point of this building was to see whether this theme could actually work in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 due to the aforementioned things, such as if this custom scenery actually works and if it actually works as something that you could place in a theme park. And that, I think, is something that this building has proven to me. Yes, there are a couple of things that are still a bit vague about this building, like the purpose is still a bit of an awkward question when it comes to this building. I'm really not sure what to do with this thing. I kind of turned it into a restaurant at some point, but there's also the fact that you must have walkways all around this thing because it doesn't really have a front. I mean, the part with the tower is pretty much the facade, the main part of the building, I guess, but then again, the backside is also not looking that bad, and it does have that little path and a restaurant in it, so it's really hard to decide what you can really do with it. And I feel like with a little bit of tweaking, you might actually be able to turn this building into a station, though I would say that would be one ridiculously over-themed station, though that is probably not, well, I guess it's not even that over-themed, I mean, Efteling. Anyway, I'm digressing. What I wanted to kind of try with this building is something that I think has succeeded. Whether this building is something that I like or not, I think that it has convinced me that a Romanian theme is something that I want to try. And I know this is not the most Romanian theme I've ever seen, and I know that there will also be people over there going, what does Romania even look like? Or is Romania a country? I thought Moldavia was over there. But and I feel like this is something I want to try, because the new park in the Let's Play, and I've addressed this a tiny bit in some videos, I think, but I'm forming more and more plans on it as time goes on, and as I have more exams and no time to work on it, so that's why in my head it's all developing, and in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 nothing is happening, and I'm really not sure how things will turn out. But the main idea is that so far I've had the three themes of Baltic that I really want to do and that I feel pretty safe, has some pretty cool influences that I might want to use in the park anyway, Romanian, which I'm trying right now, and Dutch/Flemish, which is still a bit of a tough subject because I think that there are quite a number of people who have done the Dutch theme before, especially in the Dutch community. Now, I wouldn't know because I'm not really active at all in the Dutch community, but I do kind of remember some Dutch people going, yeah, Holland, let's make stereotypical Dutch parks. And it is a theme that I would definitely like to try because, and I'm trying to be as unbiased as I can here, I do like the Dutch architecture in a sense. The only problem with it, and this is a problem that also occurs for the Baltic theme and the Romanian theme, and is definitely going to be one of the big problems of the park, is that I feel like there aren't really any good Dutch/Flemish custom scenery sets out there, and I don't want to insult anyone who already has the sets of them. For example, CTR Sin has an amazing Dutch set out there, but it's not something like the classical Dutch cities have in buildings, and it's just not the thing that I'm looking for in the custom scenery sets. So that's just one of the issues. But aside from the obvious custom scenery issues, I feel like this building is working out pretty well. The spire on top of the tower is probably going to be subject to change, if I don't forget to change it, that is, because the spire currently doesn't really fit. I've been looking at some buildings in Romania and they all have some awkward spires. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say awkward, they're pretty cool. It's just they're so much different than all of the spires we currently have in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, so I'm definitely going to have to work on some new spires if I really want to continue on this. And I would rather do that than spend a lot of time trying to get different custom scenery sets together to get something that looks like a spire that I want to have. Because in the end, then you get something that looks cool from a distance, but a bit awkward if you zoom into it. So I kind of want to avoid that. And that's primarily the big issue at this point. Other than that, I feel like this building could maybe, potentially, possibly, I guess, be useful in a park if I really want to do it. And one of the only issues that I have at the moment with this is, like I said, I don't really know what to do with it. And that's an issue because I don't really know what kind of layout I'm going to want to have in the Let's Play park. I guess you could call this video kind of a prequel along with the other videos that I might produce before I actually start doing the new Let's Play park, because it's not just a bit of an experimentation to see if the themes work, but I also still need to get ideas on how I'm going to work with the layout of the park, because as I want to turn it into a realistic park, I can't get away with the rose gardens, fuck all logic mentality and build huge castles everywhere and just say, hey, but they're big castles. I don't care if they don't make sense shape-wise. They're cool. And yeah, I'm definitely going to have to focus more on just very modest realism and layouts and shapes and stuff like that, rather than let's place enormous castles and throw details on them like there ain't no tomorrow. So yeah, that's one of the issues that I have with the park, I guess, at this point. So I need to come up with some ways to get a good layout and work with that. That's one of the main pressing issues at this point, and something that I guess I can think about. Doesn't really take too much in-game stuff, but I'm considering for the first time of my life actually planning a park, as in getting paint or my more professional software and drawing park layouts and see if anything is really going to work. Because the thing is, I've always been a big fan of let's open the game and do whatever and let the creativity flow and just kind of build a park like you're doodling. But I don't want to take that risk with this thing, because there are 3 new themes and possibly even a 4th new theme. It's a completely new thing to me, and I don't feel like taking the risk of just jumping into an empty sandbox and just kamikaze in there and hope for the best. Because it's normally I would be okay with that, somewhat okay with that, because I still don't want to waste too much of my time, because you know, you don't record it. But in the Let's Play, I don't want to waste time experimenting with layouts and getting them wrong and having to redo them. So that's one of the reasons why I keep making these videos, why I am planning on keeping to make these time-lapse videos until I have a good idea of what I want to do with the park. Now, at this point, the building is finished. It wasn't really, but it was cut off because your favorite crash. And then I didn't decide to record it anymore. But yeah, here's the final result. This is the front of the building. And here's the back, which is going to be the restaurant in that little bay. And overall, I think I can say I am pretty happy about this building. Not even just necessarily, like I said, because it looks okay, because I'm happy about the exteriors, but also because I think the theme, the Romanian theme, is going to be awesome. And this is just a nice little Romanian Castellul. I think that's the one. I suck at pronouncing things. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that anymore. The only thing I remember from my Romanian exchange program is that to form a Romanian word, you take the English word and you add lul at the end. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'm sorry to all you Romanians out there. I didn't have any too bad intentions with that. I'm going to see you all next time, in which I'm going to do, I don't know yet. Might be some custom scenery issues, might be some Dutch Flemish theming, or it might be more Romanian stuff, maybe even some Baltic stuff. Whatever I need to do before I feel confident enough to start a park. So I'll see you all then.